I hope you're doing well. It clearly looks like a lot of us are going through a lot of emotions this week. Maybe it's the holiday. Maybe it's the end of the month and this is the last paycheck before Christmas. Who knows? Maybe we're just all insane to even be here anymore. I don't really know which one it is. Maybe it's like a D, all of the above. I don't know. I'm going to address a few things and then I just want to hang out and chill, talk about whatever. I have two things I'd like to mention um, to see what your guys' thoughts on it are, or not really thoughts on it, but just whatever. Anyways, um, so the first thing I want to, actually, I guess there's quite a few things because I'm an asshole on the internet who has an opinion about other people's business. Okay, I own that completely. It's the beauty of being able to be a creator, which every single person can do. Okay, so just want to put that out there. Okay. So first and foremost, I think anybody it's not any kind of secret that I am friends with Willow. I like Willow to this moment. I still like Willow. I think him platforming Jim Terry, I'm completely against it. The stuff that was said, literally everything on that live stream, I think I said it in Earth Comment. I'm grateful that she grabbed that clip because I did not know what had happened in real time. I was out watching something else. But um, literally in that, I don't know, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 15 minutes, however long it was, every single thing that some of us say we are against happened in that stream. Doxing, saying things about, talking about kids, lying, most importantly attacking a victim. Like his family just got, they were just able to get the guy to help them locate his remains. They've just started their healing journey and we give them a platform to say these things. I am so against that. I am so disappointed. Not that anybody asked for my disappointment. Like, well, who the hell are you, Nunya? Okay, keep your disappointments to yourself. Again, just want to point out I'm an asshole creator on the internet giving my opinions about other things. It's not a bash. It's not anything. Maybe Willow is apologetic for it. I don't know. I sent my own messages in private and I came out and spoke about it publicly because that's what I say I do. And I mean what I say. It was absolutely wrong to speak on Laura's children. It was absolutely wrong to speak about Queen's record when that was not a factual statement. And anybody who has seen it during the time when all the doxing was going on would have seen that. To put that out there and to platform him and to go after a victim and to there are so many of our friends who we do currently care about that he has attacked or gone after or done terrible, terrible things to in the past. He is off of this platform for a reason. Now, with that said, does Willow deserve to go do an interview with him? Absolutely. You know why? Because he's a creator and that's his choice. I do not support that choice. That's his choice if he chooses to do it. It's his panel, it's his page. He can do what he wants. The support looks different though. That's not something I stand by. It was wrong, period. There's no excuses that you're going to get out of me as to why that was okay, because it wasn't okay. Moving right along. I seen a clip where there's a creator on panel, and she mentions potentially that one of Queen Bee's mods has either been put on or is on something called Kiwi Farms. And when I first got the clip, I was like, "Oh, I don't even know like what is that?" And I had to ask around. I had to ask people and start doing research. And then lo and behold, I find it's this place where these trash people harass and make it their life's mission to make people's real life miserable, and we're wearing that as a badge of honor. Yeah, fuck no. That mod has done nothing to anybody here but be a friend to somebody else that you don't like. That's real life like a motherfucker, and that's wrong. The problem in my mind is if we can't just go out of the out of off of the content, we're going to start attacking all the personal things. Why? Why? I don't address. I've never addressed any mod randomly unless they have mentioned me or there's something I want to address that they have said about me. That's it. Like you can do it based off of content. Going into somebody's real life, whether it was just a bark or whether it's a bite, is wrong to me. Again, now that may be something that some people get down with. It may be completely acceptable in this community, that community, our community, their community, the us community, the we community, the they community, and the them community. That's cool. For me and my page specifically, I'm speaking for Nunya only. That is not okay. And even as an intimidation tactic, it is not okay. Nobody deserves to have their real life touched or talked about. They just don't. Again, Who am I to tell people what to talk about, or how to threaten somebody, or how to intimidate somebody? I'm fucking nobody. I'm just an asshole on the internet who decided to go live tonight to give my opinion yet again when nobody fucking asked it, because that's what I felt like I wanted to do tonight. Okay, moving along. I was actually watching The Lab After Dark last night. He did a stream last night and it was so freaking good. Like, I felt myself really agreeing with a lot of what he had said. Not all of it, obviously, but I watched some of what he said. And one of the biggest things that stuck with me last night and into today is there are so many people here that have some type of, most of us came to the community looking for community, right? Or to YouTube looking for community, excuse me. Or we came here because a case brought us here, and that particular case had something about it that connected with you. It could be that a child was being abused in their home, and you may have a personal experience, or you may have a best friend who had that experience. It could have been a potentially a rape case that struck something within you, or your sister, mother, daughter may have gone through something similar and it connected you to that case, and you became connected to it because of your personal experiences. I think it's amazing that people can talk about their personal experiences that they've gone through and the trauma that they have overcome throughout their healing process. I think it's wrong as fuck to make fun of anybody that chooses to share that personal experience with anybody on the internet. There may not be, to me, it doesn't make a difference. It could be somebody who I really, really, really don't like. There are very few. There are very few. But it could be that same person if they're sharing their personal experience and they are talking about their own trauma and something that they may be healing from, laughing at it, making fun of it. Oh, but Nunya, what about them? I again, just because they did it, literally, we're living right now in this community. Like, I God, how do we fucking get out of this place? I don't know what it is. We're living in this community where we're justifying an eye for an eye. I watched Butler's video. I strongly encourage you to watch Butler's video. The video is there's a hate video and then there's a cognitive dissonance. I think that's the word, but it talked about how we in our minds, when we really like somebody, we start to justify what we are doing to somebody else as if it is right because we like them. We justify their actions even though inside of us it could potentially be wrong. We know that it's wrong, we feel that it's wrong, and we still keep going that way. It literally is psychology, and it happens all the time. And people may be like, oh, nobody should take the internet that serious. Well, some of us, and I'm going to say some of us because there are days I do it too, consume a lot of the internet. Now, is that anybody else's problem? Fuck no, it's not. It's a choice that people make. And when you consume that much, it absolutely can be detrimental to you. I don't have like any qualms about that. If you spend 20 minutes here a day or you spend 24 hours here a day, good for you. That shouldn't make a difference. For me, that shouldn't make a difference. But for some people, it does make a difference. Some people, we're going into a week where there are a lot of people in this community that will not have a family member they had last Thanksgiving. We're going into a community where this holiday may remind them of some absolute tragedies in their lifetime. We're going into the week where the holidays, both Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up next month, are going to remind people how alone they potentially are. And yet we continue to give them no place to not be alone. We literally, we can't get out of our own way. We can't take a second to just move out of our own way. Talk all the shit you want on the internet. Like, I don't think there's anybody who would say you shouldn't be talking about people on the internet. And I'm gonna use JP as an example because I see her in the chat. JP and I were on a panel. She absolutely said she talks shit on the internet and she doesn't care if it hurts people's feelings. That's cool. But going after her or saying anything about her trauma that she chose to share, that's not about talking shit on the internet. Sorry, not sorry. That's attacking her for her personal experience that she chose to share. And I get it. Some people feel like, well, then don't share your personal experience because nobody can make fun of it. Fuck you. If it's my personal experience, I should absolutely be able to talk about it anywhere I fucking choose to go. Now, does that mean you should absolutely be able to say exactly what you want to say about it? Sure, you can. Just don't ask people to co sign it. Period. Period. It's very different. It's not the same. Some have really truly lost the plot. And by some, I mean everyone, it feels like. I can't consume another minute of Sebastian content. I just can't. Again, for those who choose to stay there, it's fine. But today I seen 3 screenshots. One of them was a creator essentially asking questions about Sebastian in a way that would insinuate that maybe he was doing bad things and that's why he went away. Another one was I the screenshot that I got was some tweets from JLR talking about Seth and saying he's all these terrible things. He's still a parent of a missing child, and some of us stood against bashing the parents, even if we think that their stories don't line up, even if we think they may be a little sus. We still stood behind. At some point in time, we all stood behind. We don't bash them. They're all grieving, and God knows what their mind can remember during a time of trauma and continued trauma at that. The last one that I seen was an extensive deep dive, the 13th extensive deep dive we've seen all week. Okay, all right, cool. You accused me of knowing about it, and I had no idea. I honestly, unsupervised, I think what she assumed is because you were in the chat that you had seen what her comments were that day, and I disagree with that. Just because you commented, she doesn't know if you were by your phone or were aware of what she was sharing that day. So I do disagree with that part of it. But so I do agree with that. I also don't agree with going after somebody's career again. That's it's just it's taking it to a personal level. It's just taking it to a personal level. That's all. I wish that everybody could take a step back, take a breath. I seen this morning Laura demanding, calling everybody out. Where is everybody? Everybody fire up alive. Here's the thing: the problem with emotional reactors is they don't tend to come across very clear. They don't tend to make sense. They tend to say stupid shit because they're angry. I am not that person. I'm not an emotional reactor. Do I react emotionally in private? Absolutely. You better believe it. All the words come out of my mouth to my closest people. Absolutely. But I take time during that time and I process, how do I feel about this? How do I go through this? What truly are my feelings? Can I remove my feelings and my emotions out of it and put some logic into it? And it's not easy. It's not easy. It is a process. But one, demanding anybody call anything out, not really for that. But two, I'm not an emotional reactor, so I'm not going to just fire up a lab because you said so. Not going to happen. Again, what was done was wrong to everybody it was done to. There's no excuse for it. I'm not going to justify it. I'm not going to make excuses. See how that works? Take notes. You're welcome. A parent can be sus and innocent at the same time. Both can be the same. I agree, Commander. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you have to practice the pause. I do know how to practice the pause most of the time. I'm not perfect at it. Like, I know a lot of people, I've seen some comments recently are like, I don't know why she's even here with us because she's so perfect. No, I've made my some mistakes on the internet. There are things that got called out that I've been like, damn, I wish I could have done that differently. I have people around me who have said, I don't agree that you did that, Nunya. Think about it. If it was me, how would you have felt if somebody did that to me? And I've had to sit back and think about it and stew on it and figure out if I like this or I don't like that. Absolutely. I fuck up all the time. And if and when I owe somebody an apology, just like I did for Wispy, I gave her the apology that I felt apologetic for, and that was for miscommunicating. It sounded on my stream like I had said she had called um, Brittany J names, her and Kathy P. I didn't mean it like that. I was talking about the group of people that call her that, but ultimately, that's my fuck up. All right, I'll own that. Take responsibility for it. I apologize straight to her face. Like it's that simple. Like people make mistakes. It's not like anybody expects anybody to be perfect. We are all flawed. Fuck. I'm convinced we are all trauma ridden at this point to still stick around here. But some of us want to try and be better people. And so when we make mistakes, we have to be willing to say, damn, I fucked that one up. My bad. And try and do it better after that. Not do the same thing over and over and then be like, oh, well, let me just go on ahead and do blah, 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 blah. No, it's literally just it's trying to be better people. It's surrounding ourselves with people who make us want to be better. But ultimately, everybody around you could want you to be a good person. But if you don't want that for yourself and you want to remain in the space of being a shit person or being ugly on the inside, whatever you want to name it, then you get to be that. 100% you get to be that. Nobody can make that. Like nobody can again, you have to want it to be able to have change happen. I've said for a very long time, and I know Deeds and Johnson would agree. They both went to bed, so neither one of them they're going to be seeing this stream in the morning, and I may be in trouble, but YOLO, fuck it. My handlers went to bed. I can do what I want. But we all have said we have such a desire to build bridges, and it is so frustrating and exhausting when people run around throwing grenades on said bridge. And if you are not a bridge builder, if you are not in the gray, If you can't think that two things can exist at the same time in the same space because they contradict each other so fucking much, that's okay. But we're just not for you. You're not our people. And that's okay too. Like, you find your people, we'll keep our people. It's all good. But we really, really, really have a desire. It's probably one of the reasons why we took the HOA idea and started running with it. And we started to see so many people in the chat, people who really don't like each other. And some of us don't even fucking like us. But they all came by and they all stop in and we all get to laugh with each other. We get to, for a moment, put those differences to the side and have some good laughs with each other. And laughter is fucking therapy for the soul. We need it so much. Not fake laughter, not laughing because we're trashing somebody else, but just legit laughter, laughing at things. And I'm not going to be like those I'm not going to be like those cliche people who are like, "Oh, I just want to go back to having fun." No, the shit ain't been fun for a really long fucking time. Just saying. Just saying, it ain't been fun for a very long time. And everybody can recognize that no matter what side you were on, you can recognize shit ain't been fun. And stop lying to yourself if you're saying it's all fun, because you are lying to yourself for sure. It's okay if all you want to do. Let me tell you what made me kind of sad tonight. I'll share and be transparent. And I'm not gonna fucking cry, so don't worry. Nobody has to clip it and tell me I'm swiveling and squabbling or any other kind of thing, because I'm not gonna cry. It's not like that. It just made me sad. So Duchess did a stream tonight, right? And during that stream, there is a young man who went missing out in Oregon, and the family is desperate for answers. It happened in July. They have no real timeline. Like, it was a sleuth's delight being in that stream. They have a lot of information, but it's not in an organized fashion, so creators aren't really covering it. It needs to be put together. It needs a whiteboard. There's so many unanswered questions. They're so limited in the amount of information that they have at this time, and law enforcement is doing the bare minimum to assist them in being able to find their loved one. And they showed up in that chat and they are desperate for help. And I thought, imagine what would happen if for a second every side could come together, right? Just put the swords down, put your bats down, whatever, put your stingers away. I don't know, put what do they have in put your wood down, put your crowbars down. I don't know what we have. Maybe our HOA. What do we have? We have bats. I already said them. Okay. If everybody could put that to the side and use your super sleuthing skills to help a family try and find their loved one, what would that be like? Hey, Keith, good to see you. I hope you're well. What would that actually look like? Like, imagine what good we could do. And it doesn't mean we have to like each other. It doesn't mean it can only be our way. It doesn't mean any of that. But here's a family. Most of us are in, and I'm speaking of myself here and including everyone else. Most of us can tell you detail for detail exactly what has happened from the moment it started to the moment it ends in some drama, right? Which means we know how to timeline some shit. Don't get it twisted. Hey, Six, good to see you. We can timeline the hell out of something. We can go find a clip for this or a clip for that. I know I'm good at it instantly, right? You know, I'm all about the receipts. I love the receipt culture. I embrace it greatly. But we all can do those things, and we could do it to help a family. And most people weren't even in there. They weren't interested in that. You know what I mean? Like, it was so good to hear from the mother and to hear people saying, people in the chat were saying, it doesn't matter if her son had mental health issues. It doesn't matter if her son did drugs. It doesn't matter if her son was in a gang. It doesn't matter, like all these different things that we're listing out, right? None of that matters because the family still deserves answers. And I'm guilty of it too. I know, like, I'm preaching to myself here, so just don't mind me, okay? It's my own little convictions from today, okay? We could easily do good. But we have to be willing to put some of this to the side. We have to be willing to truly care about other people. And it doesn't mean you have to care about me or care about Deeds or care about Joneson or care about Keith or care about Georgia Peach. Like, you don't have to care about that person to help a family out. There's so many stories like that. I also learned today. Listen, I learned a lot today. I actually learned the difference between crack and cocaine today. Don't judge me. I just am not knowledgeable in those things, and so I learned about it and I read a lot up about it. Okay, but I also learned about the young lady Hannah, whose father whose father met his demise today. And that made me sad too, because I was like, damn, a family who's already losing their loved one or missing their loved one, excuse me, they're looking for her everywhere, trying to get answers. And now they have more loss in their life. I don't know. Maybe we could just put it on pause. Maybe the drama. I don't know. Again, not my business, but maybe just for this week, maybe just for Thanksgiving. I know it's almost the end of the month and we got a lot of money to make by the end of this month, potentially. And by we, I do not include me, just putting that out there. But maybe just for the week, find new things to talk about. No need to talk about yourselves. And please, for the love of God, leave Betty to cook her Thanksgiving meal alone. Just kidding. If you want to talk about her Thanksgiving meal, talk about her Thanksgiving meal. I don't know. Yeah, it is popcorn. I agree. I do agree. And we do. We were going to do a HOA meeting yesterday. And somebody actually graciously made us a infomercial that I'm so excited to be able to show you guys. It's freaking hilarious. But but Deets ended up getting sick, so we couldn't do the stream, and we told her that um we would wait until she got better to be able to do it. So maybe we'll do it midweek or maybe Wednesday. I don't know. We'll see. That was pretty unexpected to find out the father, right?